The prophet of thought. Open your mind, 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 open your mind. Open your mind, 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 open your mind.
Open your mind.
Hours of power. Hours of power. Hours of power. Hours of power.
And so a community is where you control your police, you control your commerce, you control your education, you control your house. We don't control none of that. We live in a hood. Huh? Well, what about the Negroes that get out? Oh, well, say, my cousin, they say he's a multi-millionaire, almost got $1 billion.
The prophet of thought.
3 PhDs and working on 2 more. Driving down the street in Chicago in his Rolls Royce, enjoying himself, and he hears these sirens and looks through the mirror and see this cop car flashing lights. He squeezed the steering wheel, man. Heart beats fast. Because he knows the plight of a Negro, what it could be. And then when that cop car passed him by, he said, thank God he wasn't after you in the first place, punk. That Negro thing you can't get away from. It's universal. They wasn't coming after you. With all your millions, with your Rolls Royce, with your PhD, didn't help. That's the hood. Why do you think you never pick up the paper 3D over and over and see white families? You think there's thousands of black cops in America. Why don't you see white families crying as black cops shot my loved one 40 times in the back of the head? Why do you think black cops don't do that? You think they're more spiritual? Think they're better? No! They got enough sense to know that white folks ain't gonna tolerate it. And I will stop in our neighborhood when we decide we will not tolerate it. Now, if we was organized, which is hard to organize people who are just gonna run crazy and you don't know you're crazy. But if we were, with the money we have, and the many people who would come to our aid that don't know what it's like to be a Negro, and we said, if we said, look, we saying, if we don't get a federal law to deal with police brutality, that anytime a cop or anybody carry a gun, have to have a license just like you do to drive a car. And if you use it wrongly, you'll lose your license. And if it's upheld, you can never work again as a cop or a store guard or a private detective. How do you get Congress to push that through? Well, you take your economic power and you call on your friends, black, white, young and old, and say, this coming Christmas, if we don't have a federal law to outlaw police brutality by law, then we call them for a nationwide boycott of Christmas and it'll start on Thanksgiving. Well, let me tell you what that means. 79% of all retail in America happens between Thanksgiving and Christmas. People stay in business all year, lose money just for Christmas, huh? Well, what happens now? Sac Fifth Avenue, Toys R Us, Sears and Roebuck, Westinghouse. They will get the bill, and all they got to do is make one phone call and say, Harry, that's the senator, I want that bill pushed through in 3 days. Okay, it's an economic thing. It's that simple. But we have the power But the system have wiped us out so bad.
Hours of power. Hours of power. Hours of power.
Sam 10 and Lincoln 6. Go ahead. We have a suspect down, 10-4. That's 10-4. The officer's code 4. We have one suspect that's been shot.
Open your mind.
Akbar! Allah Akbar! Allah Akbar! Allah Akbar! Damn, damn, damn!
Open your mind. Peace, folks. Once again, on the T.P.O.T. YouTube page, we are back with another hard-hitting doubleheader. And peace, folks. Welcome back to another edition of the Proper Thought series right here on the old T.P.O.T. YouTube page. I'm your host, X, of course, but you knew that already. And damn, my echo's on, isn't it? That's why your black asses are here. Yeah. So tonight, of course, this is the first section of a doubleheader. I appreciate you good folks, man, coming through tonight, man, watching this here stream. Yeah, we're gonna talk a little blue collar stuff, you know. Y'all see the title in the description. It's the X Explained series, black to blue to green. And when I say black to blue to green, what I mean is the black man can go into the blue collar field and make some money. All right. But before we get started, as always, y'all know I gotta thank y'all, man, for all your support, your likes, your shares, your views, your subscriptions, and of course your hard-earned pennies, nickels, dimes, quarters, and 50-cent pieces. Because you don't have to do it, man. You don't have to do it. You ain't gotta watch these damn videos. You don't have to freaking subscribe to this channel. You don't have to share it. You don't have to like it. And you definitely don't have to drop your hard-earned coins on this platform. But you good folks, man, you choose to do so, man. And I want you to know, man, that I'm humbled. I'm honored. I'm thankful. And I don't take it lightly. I don't take you good folks lightly out there. And I don't take you good folks in here lightly. I appreciate all of y'all, man. And I want y'all to know, man, that I'm thankful for you folks, man. I am. You know, we about to close out 2020, and you know I get up here, man, and I thank y'all every night, and I want y'all to know, man, that this year, has been a good year for T.P.O.T. The channel has grown quite a bit. It's picked up quite a bit of subscribers, and we're gonna keep this thing going, man, and try to bring y'all some new things, man, in 2021, man. We got some good things in store for you, man. So just, stay tuned. All right. All right. So let's get at it. Yeah, we're going to be talking about some, blue collar stuff, man, because, y'all all know I'm a blue collar guy. I've been a blue collar guy for a very long time. I used to, hey, what's good, brother Ricardo? I see you up there. I used to actually be a white collar guy when I was young. I actually had, an office job. I worked for a pretty big company too. But it wasn't what I wanted to do. Number one, I don't like being indoors like that. And number two, I always liked doing things with my hands. I'm the son of a landscape architect, and he had his own business. And, as a child, I always was messing with tools and, helping him work on things and helping him do things. I've always worked with my hands. So, I've been doing blue collar work. I even had a blue collar side job when I worked in an office. So I've always been a blue collar guy. And what I think people misunderstand about blue collar dudes, I mean, blue collar guys, man. I mean, don't think that the blue collar guys are just these broke ass dudes, man, because they're not. Trust me, they're not. And you're going to see tonight, because I'm going to pull up some examples, and y'all are going to see tonight, man, that, don't sleep on the blue collar brothers. All right. Riding shotgun with me tonight is going to be none other than my brother BMT. He's going to be riding shotgun with a brother tonight, so we're going to be, talking about these things, man. And, hopefully y'all get something out of it. Hopefully you get something out of it. But before we get started, what I want to do is I want to pull something up for y'all. I want to show y'all something. Let me see. Probably should have had it ready, right? But I want to show y'all something because I want y'all to see. And I know y'all can see that, right? Yeah, y'all can see that. I want y'all to see 30, count them, 30 blue collar jobs with the highest salaries. All right. Now they go into how, blue collar jobs, and this is a study from 2018. So it's a couple years old, y'all, but I think it's still relevant. Now, number 30 is mining roof bolters. They had a medium salary of $58,000, $58,650. And there's 3,250 of those working in the U.S. right now. Pile driver operators, another $58,000 job. All right. And there's 3,450 of those working in the United States right now. Construction and building inspectors. All right. Median salary, $59,000. All right. And there's 104,000 of those working in the United States right now. Occupational therapy, 60,000. Electrical transportation equipment installers, 60,000. First line supervisors of production, 60,000. Stationary engineers, boiler operators, 60,000. Wood pattern makers, 60,000. Police and sheriffs, 61,000. Chemical plant system operators, 62,000. Boiler makers, 62,000. Fire inspectors, 62,000. Aircraft mechanics, service technicians, $62,000. First line supervisors, correctional officers, $63,000. Avionics, $64,000. First line supervisors, construction trades, $65,000. First line supervisors of mechanics, $66,000. Signal and track switch repairers, $70,000. Petroleum pump system operators, $70,000. All right. And the list goes on and on and on and on and on. All right. They go on and on and on. Hey, what's good, Lady China? The village arsonist in the house. What's good with it, man? I see you up there, brother. Yeah, so people will have you think that blue collar brothers are just these broke dudes. And nothing can be further from the truth. All right. I know I'm a blue collar guy. All right. I run a small business. All right. I run a small business. I mean, I have guys that work for me. All right. And they can work over the course of a summer, man, and make almost $35,000 just working over the summer. You understand? And these are dudes who work for me. So, I mean, don't get it twisted, man, thinking that these blue collar dudes, man, are just these broke ass dudes. All right. I mean, shit. Gotta be kidding me. What's that? Lots of black people poke fun at me for being a truck driver. Shit, man, I got a sheet up here that says the median income of a truck driver is like 75 grand. So that ain't nothing to laugh at. Depending on where you at in the country, especially down here in the South. I mean, if you down here in the South and you a dude that's living by yourself and you making $75,000, you're doing all right, because the medium income, the average income down here is, I think, about 32 grand, somewhere between 27 and 32 grand a year. That's like the average salary here where I'm at. All right. And I'm in a municipality considered a city. All right. That's like the median income. You know, unless you work somewhere like Walmart or something like that, then you probably make less than that. But, you know, that's the median income. All right. So if you live in here and you making $70,000, $80,000, you're living pretty good. Yeah, you're living pretty good because you're making damn near 3 times what the average salary is here. That's just the truth. All right. Now, if you're living in New York, all right, if you're living up north, that's different. You know, $70,000 isn't a lot of money. It's not a lot of money. It's not. But if you like in the South, man, like in the sticks, and you making 70 grand, you doing all right. You know, you're doing okay. You're not hunting your own food. You probably live in a nice neighborhood, and you're definitely driving a decent car, and your bills are paid. All right. So make no mistake, man. These blue collar trades, man. These blue collar trades are not shit to wag your finger at. Trust me, they're not. All right. I know. I've owned my business for almost 7 years. All right. Almost 7 years. And let me tell you something. I could probably get away with just working from April to July or August. And that would carry me all the way back to the next April if I wanted to. All right. And that's with running a crew. All right. That's with running a crew. I could easily get away with it. You know, now don't get me wrong. I mean, you know, I ain't rich. You know, I ain't nowhere near it. God damn it. Because I still got to get up every day. But trust me. I mean, in the fields that's here, you know, where I live is a blue collar mecca, especially if you into construction, transportation, asphalt, plumbing, roofing, landscaping. That stuff is big. Know how I know? Because my business services these guys' equipment. All right. We work on bulldozers, payloaders, skid steers, commercial lawn equipment. I mean, we do boats and motorcycles too, but we work on construction equipment. We work on commercial lawn equipment. That's what we do. So we know that they working good because we're working good. You understand? So make no mistake, man, the blue collar fields for you brothers. And the thing about the blue collar fields, guess what? Usually, and I see my man BMT is here. We're going to go to him in a minute. Usually, you don't have to go to college. All right. I wish I hadn't went to college, because a lot of the stuff that I learned in college, man, guess what? I could have learned that same crap in a vocational program. All right. I could have learned that same crap in a vocational school. All right. So college was just a waste. But I'm telling you, you can go to a vocational school for like 18 months, man. HVAC is big. Like I said, HVAC, electrical. I mean, all of those things are big, especially in the South. And especially now. Now, when this COVID shit broke, and me and my brother BMT, we was talking about this at the top of the year, that a lot of extra fields was going to open up. And we told y'all back in March and April to go ahead and get that money before everybody else does. and nobody listened. But me, screw that. I opened up another arm of my business because of this COVID shit. Because now we just don't do mechanical engineering. All right. We do a little bit of landscape architecture as well. We do landscaping as well. All right. We do pressure washing, commercial and residential as well. And guess what? Next spring, we're gonna expand it some more. As long as as long as I'm breathing, we're going to expand it some more. But let me go to my brother BMT. I ran my mouth enough. Brother BMT, what's good with it, man?
What's going on to you? Peace to you, X. First off, congratulations to you expanding and opening up another sector for you in success as a black man. I think that's a really good thing. That we can talk to a black man with more success and debt free at that. That means you don't owe. See, that's true. When we hear these talking points about all the job, the nation closing, all the other stuff, you want to know who that was? That was the white collar. That was the white collar workers saying that, not the blue collar. But the blue collar, you're a tradesman. That means you have an acquired skill that can never diminish. That means you don't have to worry about your job going overseas because they need you hands on. And as you get better with your skill, as you have and I have, you start taking journeymen and you start taking entries under you and you start listen, come under me. Now for right now, you're gonna be working carrying around that bucket, and I'm gonna show you how to do stuff. But as I have you under me as an apprentice, you're gonna learn. Now you got a man under your belt. He's gonna be taking minimum wage. And a lot of us we started there, we know majority of us, we started working for an older man or a father or uncle, somebody like that.
Yep.
He was a jack of all trades. Now, mind you, key word, he was a jack of all trades. That was and we looked at it, oh man, he's that brother. But that brother always stayed with a job. He always had a job. He never went out, he said, hey. The biggest thing that we have the argument on, hey, you trying to make this job go longer. I got 2 more jobs I got to get done today. So you always was staying busy. But the thing about it was that we have a schedule of things. And see, why it's not talked about in a lot of these spaces about the blue collar, because it's a look down upon craft when it's actually the most necessity and most needed craft in the U.S. No matter what y'all say, I can promise you, for all y'all talk about real estate, you're gonna be calling a blue collar brother, and you're gonna be making deals with him. You're gonna be making majority of your deals for anybody who that. Guess what? You're gonna need that.
Especially if you buying fixer uppers.
See, and guess what? That's us all day. That's us all day. You're gonna need somebody to call into that house. You're gonna need somebody to run that electrical. You're gonna need somebody. Hey, do you know an inspector? Most inspectors are blue collar.
Yep.
Most inspectors. See, that's what I'm saying. Majority of your society is run by the blue collar. And when y'all talk about wealth or becoming 6-figure, well, the majority of those people are the blue collar.
Yep.
They start off, they run the business, they rise it up, they keep it in the family, and guess what? They pass it on. But see, now what happens is they teach their people, their children, the entrepreneurial part of the game. They pass on daddy's black handbook of his contacts. Listen, keep BMT in your contact. He's good for getting PVC piping and lumber. You know what I'm saying? If you need your trucks hauled, he can fix that at a good price. See, we have to do a lot of things. Manage the books. We have to doggone set up deals and stuff. We got to go back and forth between the county and the state doing things. See, that's why it always blows my mind. And like I tell most tech brothers, like I told one tech guy, He was like, and that's good that y'all want to talk about tech, but no matter what, who's running your wires? Who do you think has to put down? Who do you think doing the grounding and all the stuff? If you look at most of the guys running the power pole line, what do you think they are? They're blue collar.
Mm-hmm.
You got to work the machine. You're gonna have to call Brother X. He got to fix that machine. You got to go. That's a vocational skill. Learning how to actually work the machine or the trench digger. See, I know about that. You got to work the machine, but I'm sorry, but a lot of us ain't doing it by hand no more. We got a trench digger that does it. All you got to do is line up the laser, make sure that there's nothing in the ground, and they'll go get it done.
Oh yeah. When they do your cable, when they come to do your cable, I mean, they use a ditch. They use a ditch witch, especially if your cable line, because here where we are, there's not like telephone poles. Everything's underground. So your cable box is usually way off from your house. It's somewhere in the woods, some damn where, and they have to run those lines under the ground. They got a machine called a ditch witch, and the dude comes with the machine, and the machine digs the hole and puts the goddamn puts the cable in the ground at the same time. Yeah. I've worked on them. I've worked on those ditch witches, and man, those dudes make a killing, and they don't even really do a lot. They just run that ditch witch. They just operate that, run that from the cable to the crib, because the cable people don't even do it. They subcontract somebody to do that.
Bing, 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 bing. Y'all see how we're showing y'all stuff that and I know this ain't whoa man. No, we're telling y'all, man. A lot of y'all stuff, a lot of things that y'all think. That's why I don't. This is the problem that we try to tell a lot of y'all brothers. When y'all talk about that classism, or why is the Latin person getting more say so? Why are these other people rising up faster than we are? Because they're working the collar job. See, the collar is around your neck. It's right close to the head. So they understand how the body runs. See, when you have that guy, that brother, that go-to guy, as some of y'all want to call the high value, the brother who can do the carpentry, the plumbing, he knows people. He can put you on, and one day, hey, I need a job, and you can walk to that brother and say, brother, I need to make some money for the holidays. I got you, man. I got a few jobs on the side. You know what I'm saying? I could break you off. You know what I'm saying? You come out here and help me do this drywall. You know what I'm saying? I could break you off $75. I could break you off $80. You what y'all making the check working at Wally World.
Wally World.
What y'all do doggone sitting at a desk. Bro, no offense, but that's what I do in doggone 1 or 2 days.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm gonna tell you right now, just for me to come outside, just for me to walk to you, that's $100.
Absolutely.
That's $100.
Off the rip.
Off the rip. I didn't even look at it. I didn't even look at it yet. I just know, just for you to get most collar brothers.
Yeah.
That's and see, the thing about it is we deal with contracts for the most part. We're contracts by design. So that means we write our contract. If we don't like it, we don't take it. We make our deals. Hey, well, I can only pay you $300. No, the job is $350. Now, if I want to be nice and lenient, then that's okay. Sometimes you don't mind doing that because you're like, okay, I don't mind doing that. I'll do this one for $300. But do you need that also done? Well, yeah. Okay, so I can do a porch. I might send X through. X, I can send you to do a porch. You know what I'm saying? She need a quick fixer up on the porch. Just break me off at least about $20 or $30, man. Boom. Now I'm subbing over to him. And I've done that where sometimes I don't do the job. I send it over to one of my brothers. They do it. When they do the job, then guess what? They're like, yo, hey, bro, solid. So most contractors or most caller brothers, we are subbing contract to other contractors. So if X see a job, either A, like he's saying he's expanding his collar work. So that way he can have, if he sees, but most time contractors are looking for other things while they're out there.
Mm-hmm.
When a mechanic goes under your hood, he's not just looking at that one problem. He's like, how many other things can I see that I can fix? You need a fan belt, you need the air filter. Your brake's about to go.
Well, because more work means more money. More work equals more money. So, that's kind of how it works. And, remember at the top of the year, Brother BMT, when this COVID shit broke out, we were talking about this. We were talking about this at the top of the year. Because one thing about blue collar jobs, most of them are COVID proof. Most of them are recession proof. Let me tell you something. With all the close downs and the shutdowns and all that shit that was going on, I never missed a beat. In fact, the work picked up. All right. So COVID had no effect on what I was doing. The only effect it had on me is that, I had to wear my mask a little more, something that I do anyway, because we wear a mask when we work most of the time anyway, especially when we're doing like metal fabrication, sandblast and shit like that. We wear a mask anyway. The only thing that really changed is that we had to wear more. That's pretty much it. All right. So, I mean, those kind of jobs, man, are recession proof, they coronavirus proof, all of that shit. And let me tell you something. Let me go to this, man, because I got a thing up here right now, right? And it says, who makes more? Blue collar jobs versus white collar jobs, right? Now we're going to scan on down to right here. We're going to start right here with a civil engineer versus an elevator installer. Now it says here that a mid-career elevator installer range $63,000 a year, 3% higher than the typical salary of $61,000 a year for a mid-career civil engineer. Right? Now let's go down a little further. Clinical laboratory scientist or construction contractor. The average job salary for a mid-career construction contractor range is around $59,000, 6% higher than the typical salary of $56,000 for a mid-career clinical laboratory scientist. Now, I know y'all saying, oh, what is this, though? What is this? This is actually payscale.com if you want to go and look at it. Right. But anyway, now, marketing manager versus telephone equipment engineer. The average job salary for a mid-career telephone equipment engineer ranges about $62,000, 3% higher than a typical salary of $60,000 for a mid-career marketing manager, right? Now, let's skip down. Let's start here. Let's go right here to real estate. Real estate agent versus a baker. A baker, someone who just bakes bread and cookies all day. The average salary for a mid-career baker is in the range of $34,000. 19% higher than a typical salary of $27,000 for a mid-career real estate leasing agent. Let's go to the next one. Who makes more? Bank teller or auto mechanic? Mid-career auto mechanic pay range is $41,000 a year. 47% higher, than the typical salary of $21,000 for a mid-career bank teller. Let's go down here. Reference librarian versus an HVAC mechanic. Typical salary for a mid-career HVAC mechanic range is about $50,000, 13% higher than the typical salary of $44,000 for a mid-career reference librarian. Now let me go down here where it gets a little juicier. All right, let's go down a little further.
You know, and the thing about why you're doing that, X, because you're giving them the numbers,
Mm-hmm.
and that's just the numbers that we make on just on just that one job. When you're doing multiple jobs,
Absolutely.
you're doing multiple jobs, and see, and also let me tell you a little side hustle. I know a lot of y'all stuck on punani. I'm gonna tell you like this, most collar men have their woman. She has a side collar hustle collabing with him that expands his contracts and also their entrepreneurial business. Because I'm gonna break it down. If X how many other parts he's trying to do, I'm gonna teach y'all. I'm gonna teach y'all about my empire and X's empire and how it's steadily growing. Like I didn't have to run around like some people were. If anything, I was showing y'all houses and property when people trying to figure out like, what am I gonna do or how do I like? I don't know what to tell you. Like everything we spoke about, we Nostradamus this whole pandemic in one show. And any man that was smart enough to follow, or any woman, now I know offense, but guess what? I have females calling me, asking me how to get into some of these things. Now we got I got a woman right now, she's making 80K now. Now she's out there renovating properties. Her and her son and her daughter. Don't think the women ain't getting it, brother. Y'all keep sleeping. Even now the women are getting in on the blue collar.
Oh yeah.
I'm seeing the women climb the poles too. Now they'll sit there, listen to X run the numbers, and they say, well, can you show me how to do that? Can you teach me how to do that? I ain't gonna turn down no worker. I ain't. I got a little shorty right now. She learning how to jack up trailers and drive a truck. She makes $70,000. Stays right there in Georgia. She getting her bread. She don't. Now she about to start. She said her job that she want to do. She want to start learning how to do tow trucking. Oh, she ain't gonna never run out of money. She ain't gonna never run out of money being a tow truck driver. And then I hooked her up with one of the baddest mechanics ever too. And she stayed with her nails done and be hitching up vehicles and taking them. Stay making money. Go ahead, X.
See, what people don't understand, right? When people hear blue collar, they automatically think you're talking about Walmart or Target or they think you're talking about that, which is considered blue collar, but blue collar, man, is wide ranging. And I want to show y'all the top 5. Okay, and this is from ladders.com. And the ladders, they only deal with high-paying jobs, all right? You can go see this for yourself. But I want to show y'all the top 5 on ladders.com, right? Now, number 5, Powerhouse Substation and Relay Electrical and Electronics Repair had a median annual salary of $80,000 a year. All right? And there's 22,980 people doing it in the United States right now. Detectives and criminal investigators had a median annual salary of $81,000 a year. And there's 103,000 people doing that right now. Power distributors and dispatchers, median annual salary, $86,000 a year, with 11,620 people doing it in the United States. Number 2, first line supervisors of police and detectives, $89,000. 116,000 were employed in the U.S. nuclear power reactor operators had an annual salary of $94,350. 6,280 people are doing it in the United States. And like I said, the list goes on and on. Now, if you're making, because I know guys, right? I know guys who run businesses, right? I know guys who have construction companies. I know guys who have landscaping companies, roofing companies, and things like that, right? I service their equipment, do repairs, modifications, whatever they need, metal fabrication, welding, whatever it is. There are guys who come to my shop, and these guys at the top of the season, I know guys that have $1 million contracts, okay? $2 million contracts. And this is just for landscaping. You know what I'm saying? Landscaping. $1 million worth of contracts for the season. All right? $1 million worth of landscaping. $1 million worth of asphalt work. $1 million worth of construction. I mean, I know guys like that. I deal with them all the time. I hope to be one of them. I hope to be one of them one day where I got $2 million worth of damn contract just laying around. You know? I mean, there's money in this. And I say again, you don't have to go to a college. You don't. I mean, you can go to a technical college because I went to one. But, I mean, once I got out in the field, a lot of that shit that I learned, man, in school, I probably could have learned it in a vocational center, and I could have learned a lot of it hand because I already was mechanically savvy when I went into school. So basically, the schooling just kind of touched up what I already had. You know, it didn't really add all that much. You know, you learn different variances and measurements and all that kind of crap. But a lot of that stuff I already knew. So I probably could have got away with just going to a vocational center, man, and had the same outcome. Same outcome. But see, what y'all got to understand is this, man. Just because you work a blue-collar job doesn't mean you can't get at that money, especially if you're doing it on your own. Now, mind you, not everybody is cut out to run a business. I mean, not everybody, all right? Not everybody, because to be honest with you, when I first started out, I didn't think I was cut out to do it, all right? I didn't think I was cut out to do it. That's probably why I was just doing it. I just started it 7 years ago instead of 20 years ago, all right? Because some of us, believe it or not, we're always going to be working for other people, all right? That's just what it is. But guess what? Even if you do happen to be working for other people, guess what? If you got an $85,000 job, man, you're doing all right for yourself, especially if you're a young guy. If you're a young guy, especially if you're still living with your mama down in her basement, I mean, if you're making $85,000 if you're making if you got an $85,000 a year job, you won't be in mom's basement for long. You won't. All right. You will no longer be driving mom's car. All right. You'll have your own house. You'll have your own car, and it'll be quick too. It'll be quick. It won't take long. But some of these jobs do require skills. All right. They do require skills. You got to know how to use tools. You got to know your way around a toolbox. If you want to get into construction, you're going to have to know your way around a toolbox. If you want to get into plumbing, you're going to have to know your way around a toolbox. You want to get into electrical work, you're going to know you'll have to know your way around a toolbox. I mean, a lot of these jobs require you to know about tools. And the crazy thing is, believe it or not, just like with a white collar job, if you got a blue collar job, guess what? Your ass gonna know how to have to read, write, and count too. Because you know, a lot of blue collar stuff, like with me, I mean, we do a lot of measuring. We use micrometers. We use digital scales. We use these things. We use tape measures. We use these things. We use RPM counters. We use, things like that. So you're going to have to kind of know you can't be a totally illiterate person, all right, and do electrical work. I think that'll be hard. You can't be it'll be hard. Just like you couldn't come work for me. If your ass don't know how to read and write, I couldn't do anything with you. Because number one, you won't know how to do measurements. I mean, you won't know how to scale. You won't know how to fabricate. You won't know how to use certain machinery that has different digital settings. You won't be able to do it. So some of these jobs do require some degree of skill. Some of these jobs do require that you know how to read, write, and count. All right. So there's that. You have some jobs where, because I know people, when we were coming up, and they had parents who were illiterate or whatever, and they were still able to do, certain jobs, depending on what it was, but I couldn't have an illiterate person come work for me. And likewise, I'm pretty sure my brother BMT right here, he can't have you come work for him if you don't know how to read, if you don't know how to write, if you don't know how to count, if you don't know how to take measurements, if you don't know how to use certain tools. I mean, why would he want you there? He's paying you for nothing. So there is that. And then on top of that, some of these trades require skills. They're skilled trades where certain types of machinery you need to know how to operate. Certain types of equipment you need to be proficient in. Certain types of measurements and tools and measuring devices you're going to know how to use. So there is that. And I think that many times that is the hurdle that stands in front of brothers, because they're not proficient with tools. They're not they're not comfortable with taking measurements. They're not comfortable with they're not comfortable with using certain pieces of equipment and things of that nature. They're not comfortable with it. So it kind of keeps them boxed out of a lot of these jobs. Go ahead, brother BMT.
No, and what you brought about is facts. I have dealt with men that I will talk with them. All right, go bring back a 16 penny nail. That's not a 16 penny nail. It's 1/8. Go get me that. And see, as you start asking, you start realizing, okay, I'm going to take the tape measure and I'll pull them aside. I want you to cut me this block of wood. I like to do a little test. Cut me this block of wood. And if they can't do that, all right then. We need to start reassessing where we can put you. You follow me? But if you can't do a measurement, read the tape measure. Listen, you ain't about to be cutting no sheetrock, no doggone tile. No. That's waste of material. Waste of materials cost. That's very dangerous. So, not only that, when it comes to building up property, a house, or different stuff like that, listen, we got to make sure that you know what you're doing. We have to make sure you know what you're doing. And we have it where a lot of men, we're finding out a lot of brothers do not properly know how to read. They don't know how to properly read measurements. They don't know how to properly get mix together certain compounds. Yes, we have to mix together certain compounds. You can't do that, and guess what? It's going to get rough. X will tell you, you mix the guy on the wrong compound. Listen, man, either you gonna blow us up or you gonna do something. And see, this is why they got certain hazardous material that, and you got to ask these questions of people. And I see the problem that we have with a lot of brothers. One of our problems that we have with a lot of our people. They're too ashamed to ask for help. They're too ashamed. If you don't know, you just don't know. It's okay. I rather deal with somebody who don't know, because then I can teach you properly. And if I teach you properly, not cutting corners, but if I teach you properly, that's a skill you done acquired. I had a brother come on. Didn't know nothing. I'm gonna teach you how to doggone put up shingles. Now I can't find this brother enough work because he's good. Because while they were putting up roofs and stuff, while they were doggone tarring, see, y'all think putting up just roofs is just dealing with just a household. No. Buildings need to go get tarred. You got to go on top of these buildings and that's hazard pay. Hazard pay is a lot of money. It's a lot of money. And this brother was doing that. And the only time I had to put him aside, I said, don't rush. One of the keys to the game is you don't need to rush. Do it right. That way we don't have to come back. If you start doing it right, now he's been with me for what, a year? He got 2 people under him. Whenever he finished up a job, he FaceTimed me. I said, okay, show me what you got. Now he's making contracts. And on the side, now that he said, well, Mr. BMT, what do I do? You know, he said, I want to be like you one day. I want to make that money. All right, bro. You need to go down to the county. You need to go start looking at an LLC. But now he wasn't ready. But before he did that, he said, I just want to work under you. I said, why? Well, you said you're ready. He said, nah, but if I work under you, I'll understand the levels of the game. And there's no shame in that. See, we always try to push the narrative that everybody got to be an owner. That's not true. That's not true. Sometimes it don't hurt, just being part of a team. You know what I'm saying? You be part of a team. Granted, on Saturdays, I know he does his own little thing, but he sure come right Monday morning, he's right back to me. Sometimes Sunday, he be asking, hey, can I go get my truck ready? All right, go ahead. Because he wants to learn. And I'm seeing he's not just teaching him, but he's also teaching his brother. See, these are skills that can be passed on. You don't need a degree. They're free. Yep. They're free. There's nothing better. You can't outdo free. Because a skill can be passed on. It can be learned. It can be taught. It can be passed on. And he just now, so when it comes time for him I think he had to go do his mama's roof. He said, Mama, you just buy the material. I'll put up the shingles. And he wrote it out. Now, this was a man that went from, he didn't know how much. But his mama was spending excess money. But now that he can read on how much, the amount that she needs, he can read the amount of tar, the tax, the nail tax. He knows how to repair the roof. That man just did 4 jobs by himself. Who is not going to hire that man? He is more essential than one person that has only learned 1 job. And the more skills and more stuff under the collar that you have that you can tie around your neck, guess what? That's the more leeway you got to go do whatever you want. That's why I said when X was saying, hey, he was talking about pressure washing. Sorry, but guess what? Buildings need to get pressure washed season, especially when pollen season comes.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, we talking power. This is power. This is legacy power. Y'all like watching what that white man be doing, but see, that white man wants that collar work. He wants some contracts. Mm-hmm. Y'all like looking at them truckers, but guess what? That trucker knows one thing. I need a diesel mechanic.
Mm-hmm.
See, when y'all talking about, oh, I'm gonna go be a truck driver. Well, guess what? You need a diesel mechanic, sir. So guess what? Your truck got to come into that bay sometime. How do I know? But guess what? My family, we got 2 trucking companies. There's a lot of, but see, the thing about it, one thing I knew, we got to go find ourselves a mechanic. We need to find somebody that can build us a bay. Hey.
That's one thing about machinery. All right. It all eventually breaks down. it will break down at some point, even if it's just a flat tire, a starter, brakes, a fuel line, radiator hose, thermostat, alternator, whatever, sensor. Eventually, your equipment breaks down. Trust me, I know. I work on machinery that's worth anywhere from $5,000 all the way up to $500,000. All right. And let me tell you something. Even the shit that costs $500,000 breaks down sometime. Yes, it does. It does. All right. I got shit at my shop right now. Shit that's worth tens and 20 of thousands of dollars. And guess what? That shit is in there on a jack right now. It's on a jack because it needs to be repaired. And see, this is the thing. When you talk about the blue collar trades, right? You often hear brothers talk about entrepreneurship and having their own business, which I think is a very good thing. It's a great thing. It's an outstanding thing. But if you're a person who's already, say you have a white collar job, okay? Say you, I don't know, a bank manager or something like that, right? You are probably more likely to be able to start your own business in a blue collar field than you are in banking, all right? You're more likely to be able to start your own business in something blue collar. Why? Because the skills you learn doing blue collar work, it's not that hard. Well, I'm not going to say it's not that hard, but it's not impossible to break off from that and go and do your own thing. Even if you're only starting out with small side jobs, all right? It's not that hard to do, especially if you've acquired the skill, especially if it's something that you're really into. I would advise you to work under someone for a little while so you know the trade, know the skill, and not only know the trade and skill, learn billing, learn the accounting, learn how to draw up contracts, learn blueprints, learn pricing, learn all of that. Learn it all. Don't just learn the skill, because guess what? When you go out there to open up your own little company, you're going to have to know about inventory. You're going to have to get in contact with distributors for your material and your parts and your equipment. You're going to have to know these things. You're going to know how to do a little bit of accounting. All right. You're going to have to know how to write up invoices. You're going to have to know how to print up invoices. You know, things like that. You're going to have to understand accounts payable, accounts receivable. I mean, you're going to have to understand some of these basic things just to be able to start your own business. Because when you get out there in the world and you want to open your business, you want to run your business professionally. All right. You don't want to show up and not give customers receipts. You don't want to show up and not know how to bill, not know how to clock, not know how much material you're going to need, not know the cost of said materials. I mean, you don't want to show up on a job like that. All right. So you get the understanding of the business. All right. You get the understanding. And when I say the understanding of it, not just the hands-on skills, all the other things that come along with it. And you can usually do that by working under someone who's did it a while, a long time before you got into it. Take those skills, man, and suck them up while you work and get paid. You can use that as paid training. You use it as paid training. You watch how he bills. You watch how he prices. You watch how he manages his accounts. You watch how he write up his contracts, how he works them, how he does his invoices. Because guess what? You're going to need all of that. You're going to need all of that when you go out into the world and try to do it on your own. And don't try to start your business, man, if it's something that you don't really know. If it's not a business that you don't know inside and out, it's probably going to fail. All right? It's probably going to fail. I didn't start my business. When I started my business, man, I had been doing it for like 22 years. You know, I had been doing it for like 22 years, you know, for white folks. So I had watched them. I had watched the skills. I had watched the pricing. I had watched it for more than 2 decades. So I decided to go ahead and take the leap. You know, I decided to take the leap and jump out on my own, you know, and the first 2 years were rough. I'll tell you that too. The first 2 years of a blue collar business is pretty rough. All right. It's tough because more than likely you'll probably be doing everything yourself. I know I was doing everything myself, everything, getting the contracts, getting the work, doing the pricing, hauling the equipment, moving the shit, you know, and the first 2 years it almost sank. All right. But what I did is I moved. I happened to move. So when I moved, guess what? I also moved my business to the same part of town that I moved into. And I had to press reset on it. And that's what brought it back. You know, that's what brought it back to life. And cause shit, I didn't get in the black, man. I was in the red. My business was in the red for like the first 2 years, man. First 2 years, I was in the red. I didn't start getting in the black till like year 3. Year 3 is when I got into the black, where the business was actually paying for itself, paying me. You know, that didn't happen till like almost like 3 years that happened. I was taking money the first year too. I was literally taking money from other sources, putting into the business to keep it afloat. So there's that you have to think about as well. You know, so be prepared for some rough times, especially if it's a field that you have to go ahead and procure the jobs yourself. Right. That will be difficult because you're probably not going to start right out with someone that does that for you. You're not going to start right out with a 10-man crew and, you know, a building already and secretaries and all that kind of stuff. All that shit comes later, man. You know, you're all of that in the beginning. You're your secretary. You're your damn accountant. You're your damn administrator. You're the person. You're your inspector. You're the estimator, the driver. You're all of that in the beginning. You know, I didn't start picking up people, man, till, like I said, like the second or third year. I mean, the first couple of years, I was doing everything myself. I mean, everything. You know, that stuff comes along, you know, when you get in the black, you start making a little more money. You can do bigger things. Like me, I got a bigger place. You know, I got a bigger garage to work out of. You know, after like 3 years of doing it, you know, I was able to move into a bigger space. All right. I was able to pick people up, you know, hire people on, you know, but all that shit comes afterwards, man. You usually don't start out with that unless you somebody who, you know, you balling like that, you know, and you got a mill to just lay out, you know, off top, you know, and you could hire a 10-man crew and buy a building and all that kind of shit. See, I didn't have it like that. All right. I didn't have all that shit. All right. I started with nothing. I mean, I built that shit from the ground. All right. Never got a bank loan. None of that shit. None of it. All right. So guess what? Guess what I don't have, though? It was rough, but you know what I don't have? I don't have any debt because of my business. My business has not put me in any debt whatsoever. None. None. Okay? No debt. And that's another thing about blue collar work. If you go to a damn vocational school, all right, and a vocational school may run you a few grand. But guess what? Even if you get a student loan for it, all right, guess what? Man, you'll have that loan paid back in a fucking year. You'll have it paid back in a year. If your business gets right, you know, not like if you go to college. I mean, you go to college, man, you be what? $100,000 in debt, you know, $80,000 in debt and all that kind of shit, and you still may not be working in the field that your damn degree is in. I mean, that's just the truth. I mean, and I'm not trying to, I'm not trying to dump on people, who went to college, because I went to a technical college myself. But I say again, I mean, what I'm doing, I probably could have done it if I had just went to a vocational school. I probably could have done the same thing just by taking some vocational course for like 2 years or something, or like 16 months or something. All right. And came out doing the same stuff, same crap. So I want y'all to understand, man, black men. All right. Notice the title. It's black to blue to green. Black men to the blue collars, to the money. I'm telling you. And if you want to be a person who's making a lot of money and you don't have a formal education, guess what? Blue collar is where to go. I'm telling you, because it's going to be hard to get into quote unquote white collar jobs if you don't have some type of formal education. Of course, there's some, jobs out there that you could possibly nab without it, but most of those white collar jobs, man, they're going to require some type of formal education. They're going to want to see some type of degree. All right. And usually it's a bachelor's. They don't even want to see some bullshit liberal arts, associate's degree. They want to see, something, in the blue collar field, man. You don't need all of that, man. You can get by on just certifications. All right. Because basically getting certified in something at a vocational center is the equivalent to what you would learn at a technical college anyway. I mean, it's going to be the equivalent. It's not like they're teaching you this great shit at a technical college. Trust me, I went to one. All right. They weren't teaching me a whole bunch of great shit. They just weren't, So, I mean, you can go to a vocational course, man, for like 16 months, man, and come right out and get right on. And a lot of those vocational places, they actually give you the plug. They will plug you into something, some type of career. They'll give you a plug. A lot of them. That's just the truth. So don't think you got to have this formal education and, do all this shit, man. You don't have to do all that, man, to get out there and make that money. You really don't. I mean, shit, you're sitting around playing Call of Duty and Madden for 9 hours a day anyway. You can take a couple hours out of your day and go get up in that vocational class and learn a trade for 16 months, 18 months, or 2 years, or whatever it is, and come out, man, and have you a good, decent job that's recession proof. Blue collar workers, and I know some blue collar brothers in the chat right now, the few people that's here. Guess what? I bet you they didn't stop working because of COVID. I bet you they didn't.
I think one of the things about it, and see, this is why I get staunchly frustrated sometimes in this space, because you see, you got people talking about dating and colorism and all that dumb shit. All that stuff that don't matter. But this right here, this is a game changer for a lot of for y'all. It's a game changer. This is something whereas to listen, I never had a problem talking to a woman when I was in blue collar. There are more women that will hire a brother to come do some work. They'll just to see your ass show up. Can you do this? Can you fix that? Can you do that? Y'all the most sought after type of men. Not this narrative media shit. That's realistic. I'm just being honest, man. The blue collar brother does not have a problem in society like that. But everybody needs him.
Yep.
Everybody wants to have that mechanic, that guy that can do piping, the guy that can do fix driveways, electrical.
Mm-hmm.
That you are going to be one of the most sought after men ever.
Yep.
That's a fact. I never had a problem, but see, when women knew what I could do, and I'm not trying to make it my way, but I'm just showing y'all. I'm just being honest for y'all. Well, why don't the women look at? Listen, bro, I'm trying to tell you right now. Most of all the men that work with me or work around me or work under me, they all have women. It is not hard, but they know one thing: shit, your money ain't gonna never stop, baby.
Absolutely not. I
They
see.
know.
I see brother Super Mike in there. Shit, he know. I think he's an electrical engineer. Shit, I bet you. I bet you Super Mike ain't. I bet you Super Mike ain't stopped working when this COVID shit hit. I bet you he didn't.
If anything, if anything, they were trying to figure out like y'all have to work more hours. If
Yep.
anything, more hours were being pushed out towards us because they know that okay, we got to keep the city, the area, the water pumps. We got to keep the housing going. Properties they might fall back and get dilapidated. There's a lot of things that are happening. Y'all want to talk about empowerment for black people? Well, guess what? Go build your own shit. But see, y'all, you want to know what? You want to know who y'all end up having to call? Chico.
He says
Bobby.
Chico.
They
Call
don't have no
Chico.
problem. You want to know why you want to know why their classes are rising up? Why? Because they're taking the collar jobs that y'all used to have.
Yeah.
That it used to be a brother coming in fixing all this shit. Now you see with goddamn X and I having to compete with goddamn the whole goddamn Mexico and shit. But see, they guys will drink on a goddamn Friday and be sober by Sunday and be right at work on Monday.
Yep.
But I be seeing y'all go to that temp agency, man. I hope somebody hire me on. Bro, won't you go get that skill, man? See, woke rehab is always taken. Woke rehab is always open. But that's literally something by the state that is paid for. Because they consistently need more people. They consistently need more people.
Yep.
The more people they get, the more people to say, hey, we just got a few more workers. So you know what? That means we can do more projects. More projects mean guess what? X, you can you take this job for the school? Can you take that job? And the more jobs he can get, guess what? More men he can hire. And you see, the thing about it is, just like I was telling y'all about that young brother, he's following the path of how X was. I asked him, are you going to go on and do your own thing? He said, no. I'm going to stay under you. I'm going to learn everything I can from you. Now,
good look on that. Good look on that super chat, brother Super Mike. That $10 super chat. Appreciate that, brother. He said Juan and Rico. Yep. That's who you competing against.
And you want to know what? See, they have and here's the thing about and we got see this is why when it comes to building of the this is when y'all talk about the back of the day when black men y'all were a dominating force, y'all weren't in white collar. Y'all were the collar. Y'all were the blue collar. You were the iron workers, the steel workers. You were the factory workers. You were the mechanics. The white people were coming to y'all because y'all were the jacks of the trade. They know that. Guess what? Damn, I don't like that Negro, but goddamn, that Negro do damn good, do good work. So when y'all talk about Black Wall Street, that's what blue collar that built that shit.
Hell yeah.
When y'all talk about all these areas, all these black cities, y'all like talking about that was black blue collars that built that shit with them and their families. They built those meccas. Don't ever get it twisted. Them farmers, them tractors, you think they were calling the white man to fix it? No. They were fixing their own shit.
Exactly.
I ain't never seen I have never seen my father ask another man to fix his machinery. My dad runs 80 acres of farmland. You think he got time to go ahead and drive? No. He will fix that. He will pull that thing over to the side and fix that shit right there on the spot. The most you have to do is go down there to the hardware store or go down there to the store and go get or order the pieces.
Mm-hmm.
And if it's above him, then he might call in Brother X. But most of the time, most of the caller brothers are hands on with their own equipment.
Hell yeah, and they got those spare parts because I know I do. I got but I got a shop, but I mean, I always have like spare belts and bolts, and I have that shit, man. I got certain machines that I use, all right, that I have extra carburetors and shit for them. I mean,
Right.
when you're a blue collar brother, that's kind of how you operate, man. Like, for instance, I mean, I because I don't just do this power mechanics, man, this mechanical engineering shit, man. I do plumbing, I do carpentry, I do electrical work, all right. And let me tell you something: when something goes bad in the house, you think my wife calls somebody? If something goes wrong with my wife's car, you think she on the phone calling the next Negro? No, my phone rang and she like, Negro, something wrong with the car. She's not calling the next person when she needs something fixed on her car. She don't call nobody else. She don't call somebody else, when we blow a GFI or something wrong with the plumbing. Or she doesn't call anybody else, man. My phone rings, okay? And if I'm around, she's calling my name very loudly. She don't have to go outside, outside of our house, to get something fixed in our house. We got a leaky faucet or some shit. I'm fixing that shit. If we
Right.
got, something going on with the roof, I fix it. I mean, if a room need to be painted, I paint it. And likewise, something go wrong with her damn car. She pulling that shit up into my damn shop, even though it's not a car shop. It's not for cars, but that's where she's pulling it into. She's not calling nobody else to do it. I mean, so, all of that stuff comes in handy, man. I mean, because as you do this stuff, that's one thing about doing blue collar work that I discovered very early on. The more you do it, the better you get at it and the faster you get at it. I mean, the faster you get at it, you get better, you get faster, and guess what? You start to discover those little tweaks and quirks that you didn't learn when you were in school. You learn a lot of tricks of the trade, man. You learn how to do things a little quicker without losing proficiency or efficiency. You learn those things as you do it. And I think a lot of blue collar brothers, man, get not just miscategorized, but I think a lot of blue collar brothers get the short end of the stick because they think because you're a blue collar brother, they think you ain't got no damn money. They think your ass broke, because and let me tell you something. I know guys, man. I know plumbers, all right? I know plumbers that make $110,000 a year. I know landscapers, all right? I know people who own landscaping companies, man, that make $200,000 a year, all right? Landscaping. You understand? Landscaping, all right? Landscaping. I know a
looking for us.
let me tell you something. I know a guy who has a small construction company, and all he builds decks and gazebos. That motherfucker cleared $180,000 last year, and that's all he does. He builds decks and he builds gazebos, and if he know you, he might do a outside staircase for you. But that's all he does, and that motherfucker cleared almost $200,000 last year. So don't sleep on the blue collar brothers. Don't think we broke, just cause we, work a dirty job.
but see that's the thing about it. X, why we're looked down or we're looked at. Because to be honest, I've never, for as long as y'all know me, y'all never see me put on a suit, but y'all see me cam up my shit. You see me damn showcasing all stuff, but I don't wear no suit. I be walking around in jeans and a t-shirt and sometimes house shoes or sneakers or some stuff. But and I would always wonder that. And people say, well, BMT, if you're so much a professional, why aren't you wearing a suit? And I said, well, shit, what I need to let you know I got money for. Most of these white folks that run the goddamn cities, they don't be trust and believe. They be dressing bummier than me. There's a man that owns a 20% of the port of Charleston. This man walk around in raggy jeans, smelling like sea salt, and a ripped up T-shirt. And goddamn, this motherfucker is a millionaire. And I sit down with him and we drink beer and smoke cigars and Black Miles and talking shit. But this man runs the majority of the seaport that people have to pay him to park. Y'all, you see, the thing about it for the blue collar, he don't have to flex what he got. Because he knows at the end of the day, you need him. Not the other way around. You need him. That's just the end of that. There was no debate. See, other people can be replaced. You doing tech, I can go get a machine to go do that. But what I can't replace is X in them 20 years plus under his belt. What you can't replace is a BMT in them 10 plus years of real estate and property development. See, you can't replace me, baby. You can't replace X. But see, that's experience. And what we learning is the people with experience get to call the shots on how society is built. See, I don't have to ask Chico. I don't have to ask Quavez. I don't have to ask Billy and Tommy. They come to me. Their sons and their daughters come to me. See, that's when you were powerful. That's when they feared, and that's when they respected you, black men, because you had an asset and a skill. Yes, our granddaddies and our grandpas could not read, but goddamn, if you put them in front of a goddamn job and you say, hey, I need you, Granddaddy X, to build this, it's done. I maybe can't read as good as you. I maybe don't have a good education like you, but goddamn it, I can outwork you. And so when they saw that, that is one of the reasons why they had to pull the trade jobs from the goddamn schools. But they're like, goddamn, how do we get these people into this college so they could take on a debt? Versus they were going into goddamn trades, making close to $100,000 and more, but no debt. I can't tell you. Listen, you know how many bank letters I get? Mr. BMT, would you like this loan? Mr. BMT, would you like this? Mr. BMT, $200,000, $300,000. Look, I ask. I know you be seeing them credit cards that be coming toward you, begging you just to spend them, and you be like, "Why do I need that? What do I need that for? I'm
Yep. Yep.
And see,
I don't fuck with them though. I don't. Nah.
I don't fuck with them. Listen,
I don't fuck with them. I don't need that shit.
Y'all getting classes on how to go get loans. We have people begging us to take them loans. Why? Because we're walking. See, that's the thing. And see, that's one of the reasons why blue collar is so feared. Because see, the walking in the valley of the shadow is hard. Because I understood X. Damn, man. Sometimes you be up and you wondering, man. I'm still. You remember when you saw them video when I was driving that beat up pickup truck X. You remember that? And I said, you see, a lot of us we still driving them pickup trucks. They have a certain type of smell and homage to them.
Yep.
Letting us, reminding us where we came from.
Yep.
Shit, I don't ride a night. I got damn 3 or 4 vehicles sitting in my yard.
Yeah.
I don't even ride in them damn thing. My old lady jumping in them like she Batman or Bruce Wayne.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Break down.
Yep. Yep. But that's what your wife do, though. I mean, you know, some shit happen. Your wife is gonna call you. You know, she's going to call you. She's gonna call you, be like, something that happened, Negro.
Goddamn nephews be calling me. I said, boy, I thought I just told you how to do that. I know, Uncle. I know. Then bring the thing. We're gonna fix this together. I'm gonna show you what you need to do. Y'all understand? We have a latent talent. Don't ever feel. Listen, man, you think I care how they try to look at me whenever I walk in Best Buy and I can order the biggest TV? but they try to overlook me. And then I said, well, that man has to pull out a credit card. I'm pulling out straight a card. I have it in
Mm-hmm.
cash, or I have it straight on the debit card. I straight. I just straight out just come and buy it. Like I
Yeah.
said, like I said, I done sat there on these panels and these councils and these things. Like I said, there's a reason why me and X don't always have to keep going over the when it comes to building and the development, you would think you would be running towards the Collar brothers on how to do that. Because understand that we are literally the foundation of building the nation. No matter what, that's the main thing. They you cannot build without us. And see, and some
Hell
of y'all,
no.
and I know some people telling y'all need to be owners. You don't listen. Some brothers don't have to be owners. You don't have to be an owner. If you're good at your craft, you'll go far.
Everybody ain't everybody ain't meant to do that anyway. I mean, not everybody. Not everybody is capable of owning and running a business. I mean, they're just not. Not every single person. A lot of us are. Some people who I'm going to say this. Some people who don't think they're capable of doing it probably could. And some of the people who do think they're capable of doing it probably can't. They probably can't. So, I don't want brothers to limit themselves, especially when it comes to their abilities and shit like that. But I'm going to be honest with you. I mean, not everybody's cut out to run their own business and work for themselves. I mean, not everybody. Some of you Negroes, you got to have a boss, because you can't run your own shit. That's just the truth.
And there's no.
That's just the truth. You gotta have a boss
because no shame in that. No shame.
Yeah, and there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, there's nothing wrong with working for someone. Of course, I mean, in a perfect world, we'll all have our own business and make plenty of money in a perfect world. But some people, they're just slated to be employees, man. They're slated to be employees because a lot of people have an employee mind state, just like some people have an entrepreneurial mind state. Some people have a business owner mind state. Some people have a freelancer mind state, a journeyman mind state. So, I mean, like I said, if you think that you're capable of running your own business, if you think you're capable of doing it, make sure you know everything about that business first. Learn that trade. Learn that skill. Get it mastered. Learn all the facets of it. Learn the quirks of it. Learn how to run it. Understand how the money moves. Understand what you're going to need, what you need to buy, what you need to sell. Understand it all before you jump out there. While you're in the process of understanding all of that, put your money away, all right? Save up so you'll have backup money to operate with. And most importantly, don't let anybody tell you that you cannot do it.
Right.
If you feel that you can do it, jump out there and do it. But only do it if you know everything about what you're going to do. Don't just jump out there and try to get into a business because somebody else is in it and they may be doing well at it. All right? Don't you jump into it just because of that. Jump into it after you've understood it and pick up a damn book. All right? Pick up some damn books and read about the damn business. Read about the area in which you want to start your business. Check out the market. Make some phone calls. See how the market is acting. The first thing I did before I started First thing I did, I'm gonna give y'all a little secret that I never told anybody except my wife. The first thing I did before I started doing what I'm doing is I got on the phone and I called other power mechanics. I called other businesses and I pretended to be a customer. And I said, how much would it cost, for me to get X, Y, Z done? How much, and I did that a lot because, see, what I wanted to get was a feel for the environment. I wanted to know because I was in a new place. I had moved down here from New York, all right? And I knew that the pricing would be a lot different. I knew the pricing was in New York, but, I moved to the South, so I knew it was going to be different. So I got on the phone. I start calling power mechanics and mechanical engineers, and I start asking them, how much would it cost to do X, Y, and Z? So I could get kind of a feel, get a temperature on, how things were down here. I called it research, but I was calling them trying to find out how much they charge per hour, how much they charge per job, how long the jobs would take, all that kind of stuff. Because, see, I wanted to be able to get into the market and be competitive. All right. I asked them about pricing. I asked them about how long a job would take, in-depth questions. Because, like I said, I was pretending to be a customer. So I can find out, what the hell's going on. Is it hot, cold, lukewarm down here? What? Do your research. Talk to people who are in the field. All right. For instance, if you want to be an electrical guy, Super Mike is in the chat. He's an electrician. Talk to him. You want to be a power mechanic? Hit me up. Hit me up. If you want to be into real estate and property development, hit BMT up. Talk to brothers if you got an interest in something. Talk to brothers who've been doing it. All right? Don't listen to your dumbass friends who don't know shit about what you're trying to do. Talk to people who know the business. That's the best way to get an understanding about the business, along with reading about it, doing research about it, learning about it. Talk to people who are in the business, man.
So
that's one of the best things you can do. Go ahead, brother BMT.
So let's go do a power. Let's do a power talk for right now. So all y'all brothers, grab your pen and paper, and BMT is going to show you one of his expertise he do with the city council. So for all of y'all, let's say you want to work a job. You got a job doing carpentry. Okay. I would honestly tell you want to put in at least about 7 years. Now, while you're doing that 7 years, you also want to also start picking up a book. You want to also start learning how to do frames, but also doing drywall. Now, hold up, BMT, why are you telling me how to do drywall and also do frames? Because guess what? You're now learning 2 ascetic goals. You're going to have to learn how to do that. Around that 7-year time, you're going to need to start networking. Find electricians. Get under them. Offer to learn. Have them start teaching you. Have them start teaching you. Have them to actually start wanting to teach you. Um, have them to start teaching you how to. Y'all just go to Mom's Corner. Have them to start asking y'all, hey, how do you want me to do the framing for you to run the wire? Now, see, now you're actually learning how to do 3 things: networking. You're building up a networking, but you're also having 2 skills. You're learning how to do framing. You're also doing drywall. Around that time, you want to start putting out your name. Start putting out your stuff. You can do it with churches. You can do it with city. You can get a little email. Take some of your money and start saving it up. If you can put it aside, if every month, brothers, I want you to hear me out. If every month you can put aside $50 and never touch it, you know what I'm saying? And X can do the calculator for $50 every month, and you do that for 7 years. And I want y'all to understand, like I'm telling y'all stuff that I have told countless men, not just black men, but other men, and they're running with this. They're actually doing this. You know what I'm saying? And the thing about it is, you can go buy whatever you want. Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. So, you want to start saving up your money. You want to start learning, and be humble. One of the problems that a lot of our people need to learn is just because it's you get that money in your hand, don't need it, you need to burn it and spend it. That was a
Mm-hmm.
hard lesson that I had to learn and X had to learn.
Oh yeah.
All money that you get, yeah, I just made $400. I just got paid $800. Don't spend that money. I understand. You spend on what you need, and you start saving. You start
Yep.
acquiring some skills, acquiring a
Yep.
good buzzsaw. A Black and Decker is a really good saw.
Yep.
You want to start
Yep.
looking at certain stuff, and as time goes on, as time goes on, you're building up your tools. You're learning the repertoire of working with electricians. Now you're a carpenter, but you're working with an electrician. Now you say, why would I want to do that? Because if you're learning how they run their wire, you're now learning a secondary skill.
Mm-hmm.
And they will also hand you the books. Hey, I need this put up here. I need that. Because now you're thinking like a carpenter who's also an electrician. And you see, I had to learn this. You see what I'm saying? Like I had to learn these types of things, but it was the hard way.
Yeah.
A lot of us who are already here, we have to learn the hard way.
Yep.
So as we started learning these types of things, and you're taking these types of stuff, now you're going down to the city. Now in the city, they have job openings. Now I remember me and X, we did this on the show last time. Now we're coming back to it.
Yep.
They have
Yep.
job openings for we need certain things done. Now, this is when you go to your head and say, "Hey, boss, can we take this type of job?" Now he's gonna look at it and say, "Are you sure you want to try to do that job?" Well, well, if you go there and do it, we can learn it, and I can do it with you. See, now you're being humble to give it to a higher authority. I'm giving it to Master X, but I'm getting the experience,
Mm-hmm.
and me getting the experience. And this is the thing. Because experience is sometimes better than money. That's something my father taught me. Experience is better than money because when you get the experience and the know-how, they'll keep calling you back for what? More. Because if you did a good job, money will steady keep coming.
Yep.
The money will steady keep coming. I used to always hate, Dad, why you always having like I said, Dad, you could have got more, you could have got more. He said, it's not about the money always, son. It's about the networking and having the experience.
Yeah.
And then as he started teaching me, all of a sudden they were like, well, Mr. Johnson, we need you to go do this. Mr. Johnson, I'm gonna send my son BMT to go do that. Wait, you sure? Son, you're ready to go do that. See, and that happens. But X probably had to do that too. I can't be there.
Yeah.
So he'll send you.
Can't be everywhere. It's impossible to be everywhere. It's impossible.
As much as they want X, X understand I can't be everywhere. But because I have an experienced worker under me, he can be there.
Yep. You send your guy or your guys. You send them.
And you see, as that goes on, now that you have the experienced workers going, it grows. The networking grows. Because guess what? You're gonna have people asking you. I've had it on the spot where people, I'm there working for my father or another guy. But then they're asking me to do, well, can you do this? Or what do you think about this? Or what do you think? Could you look up in my attic and check this out? Well, yeah, I know how to do that. Well, if it's not too much, could you come back on Saturday? Well, technically, this is our job, but now you just now been offered your first contract.
Yep.
You've been open to a contract because you stayed with the master plan. And now you don't have to ask for their tubers. If you were smart, you've been saving up your little drills. You've been saving up your buzz saw. You've been getting your own equipment. You can go get a nice utility a tool belt for $20, $20 to $30. See, you're learning how to price check. This is why you always want. If anything y'all want to learn, I'm telling you right now. A lot of us we have to write things down. I'm pretty sure there's a shit ton of notebooks and X's office of things he's been writing down. They may be covered with oil and dirt, but that's all his notes. All his notes. Y'all saw me on my channel. Y'all saw what I did. I pulled out a whole crap ton of journals and notebooks because literally we have to assess everything. And sometimes we call, I'll say Master X, guess what? I'm doing this job right now. Okay, tell me what you're doing. And I'll talk to him over the phone and he'll guide me. He'll guide me over to it. And in his mind, he's saying, well, shoot, if he's doing that job, well, shoot, hey, I got another job I need to get done. Now, I can't get there on Wednesday, but I want you to go out there. Now, why is he doing what? Now, why is the master sending the journeyman? So that's what you are now. Now you went from apprentice to a journeyman. You're still getting paid now. But now you're negotiating your contract and he's setting you up. See, this is power building. This is power building 101. You done gone from the black to the blue. And now you're dealing with the green.
Mm-hmm. Black, blue, and green. That's what it is. Black, blue, green.
And so you're going from doggone just doing just the normal, I'm doing the sheetrock and the carpentry. Now I'm doing repairs. But see, I have that buddy who's an electrician. Hey man, like I need you to come give me a second eye on this because we do that a lot. We always have a second eye. We don't understand it. You'll have a second eye look at it. Verify it. Take a picture of it. Send it to the other buddy. Oh, okay, man. Like, hey, let me take care of this. And then after that, I'll send our brother X. Y'all can take it from there. So guess what? We steady keep that job within a circle. And we noticed that because that's how it worked. If I can't do it, then X will send it to BMT. And the BMT, after I go but so far, I send it right back to X. The money never leaves outside the circle. If anything, it's just circuit.
Get them dollars to bounce a little bit. But something that's very important that I didn't tell you, brothers. When you first start, if you are a person who wants to start a business, realize that much of the money that you make in the beginning will go right back into that business. I mean, it'll go right back into it. And I think that's how it's supposed to be.
Right.
When you first starting out, even if you making a few dollars, with your business, don't go out and buy the Benz. Don't go out and buy the BMW. No, you take that money and you put that money back into your business. You'll have plenty of time to buy the Benz. You'll have plenty of time to buy the freaking BMW, man. You'll have plenty of time for that shit. You take that money and you put that money back into your business. All right? Especially when you're first starting out. Especially because, see, one thing about your business, you have to pad it. All right? You have to pad it. Like me, I always make sure I have money to pay out. Always make sure I have money to order parts and materials because all of that is part of my business. I tell my wife this all the time. I need money for my business to run. It can't run without money because guess what? The things I need to do work with cost, material, equipment. If I have a piece of machinery, an air compressor, something like that breaks down, guess what? I have to go and buy another one. All right. Especially if the one that I have is out of warranty. If it's past warranty, guess what? I have to go and get another one. Why? Because I need it. I need that piece of equipment. I need my impact guns. I need my drills. I need my pressure washer. I need these things. I need my damn crane arm, my engine lifter. I need these things. So if a piece of equipment messes up and it's out of warranty, I have to replace it. And I can't replace it tomorrow, next week, next month. I can't do it because I got jobs to do. So that's something I have to replace immediately. So make sure you're taking some of that money and putting it back into that business. That's how your business is going to survive. If you making money as soon as you get it, you run out and buy a damn BMW. You run out and buy a goddamn 80-inch TV. You run out, to buy all this bullshit. instead of taking that money and sinking it back into your business, man. Your
And
business is gonna fail. I'm telling you, it's going to. All right.
and that's why. This is why I always encourage. This is why I sit down sometimes whenever I'm doing stuff, or I'm working on the properties or stuff, and I usually sit down with some of the brothers while we're eating, and I go over the numbers. See,
Mm-hmm.
I teach them the numbers. And I remember one brother said, "Well, why do you always buy two of everything, Mr. Johnson?" I said, "Well, shit." I said, "Many times the goddamn y'all you blew the hose last time, Thomas. Well, what did I
Mm-hmm.
tell you to go do when you blew the hose? Oh, go to the truck. So why do you think I buy two? We don't have time for you to go all the way back to the goddamn to the property, but we have another one on the truck." He said, "Oh." So I said, until we repair that hose, guess what? We have a secondary.
Look at this. Look at this right here. Look at this right here, brothers. Breaking news. Breaking news. Brother Super Mike says, yeah, we need black men in the electrical trade. We have money and room for all of y'all. Y'all see that? So if you into electrical, you need to be hitting Brother Super Mike up. You need to be doing that. Like right now. You need to be going to his channel, trying to find his email, writing me, trying to get his email from him. See, that's what you need to be doing right now.
And the thing about it is, me and Mike have talked many times on building up property, land development, and all this stuff. But see, this is why, like, it might be like BMT. You got to. I'm not listen. I'm not hounding after and chasing y'all Negroes to come. Those who want to learn, when they start learning, they sink their foot, their feet, their boots in. They get their waterproof boots, and they come out there and they work. I got one brother. He been working the same thing for a few months, and one of the white guys walked up to him and said, "You want to learn something else?" He said, "No." He said, and after that, I remember we were sitting down. We was on a smoke break. He said, "I got to get that guy to probably learn." I said, "No. Don't get him. Don't force him, because then he doesn't want. You know what I'm saying? He doesn't want it. He don't want that knowledge." But see, that other guy, you see that other guy right there, that fat dude. I see him in that book. Now he's trying to understand the certain conduits for hooking up certain wiring. You want him. You want him. Peter, you sure, Peter? Yes, we want Peter. See, Peter might be getting a team probably by January or February. He'll get a team. Because Peter, doggone, I've been seeing Peter be able to self-assess and fix things on his own. And so when it come time, I saw when it came time to fixing the goddamn the backhoe. Guess who jumped on in and was working on the wiring of the backhoe? Peter.
Mm-hmm.
Before I even knew about it, Peter already had fixed it. Before it was even called to the foreman, before she even knew about it, Peter already fixed it.
Yeah, so I work on those too. So I work on all that shit, man. Shit, we do all of that.
And guess what? Peter got a $200 bonus coming for Christmas. But he saved us money. He saved us money. We didn't have to call a guy like X.
Yeah, because I'm gonna charge the shit out of you if you call me.
So I that money that we would have to give him. I said, Peter, you fix this? He said, yes, sir. He said, if you can get this wiring done, I can probably get it run more smoothly, and it'll be a little bit more fuel efficient, Mr. Johnson. Write it down what you need, and we'll call the shop.
Yeah, that's modification, man. That's all part of engine modification. And that itself is a skill. I mean, and see, this is the thing. This is what a lot of time brothers don't understand. You can come into something, and one thing about blue collar work, you can come into blue collar work and have just a few skills, and other skills will begin to develop as you work around other people and do other stuff. You will develop other skills in the process, man. I've seen it happen. It happened with me. I've seen it happen with other people. I've seen it happen with people that I've hired. I see it. I mean, you can develop new skills while you're in there. And you can develop skills because one thing about those skills, guess what? They never go away. They never go away. And I say again, one thing about the blue collar trades, man. One thing about the blue collar trades is even if you stop working for someone else, guess what? You still got those skills. It's just like riding a bike. Not only can you start your own little thing, guess what? You got the skills. You can go and work somewhere else. All right? And usually when you come into a blue collar job, when you leave out of it, especially if you're doing stuff like if you're an electrical guy like Super Mike, if you're a developing guy like BMT, if you're a mechanical guy like me, you come in there, usually when you leave, you know a hell of a lot more than you did when you came in. So now you're even more qualified to work somewhere else. You're even more qualified to start your own business. Because I say again, if you like to do something and you want to open your own business at it, the best way to get proficient at it is to be under the tutelage of someone who's already proficient at it and they have been doing it for a long time. That's the best way to get good at it. That's the best way, by being up under someone who is already good at it. Because only thing that's going to do is make you better. You're going to get better. All right. And one day you may just have your own thing. And when you decide to get your own thing, trust me, you want to be better. You want to be the best at it. You want that. You want to be the best. Because guess what? If you're the best in that trade, you're the best in it. All right. If you're great at it, you're going to do well, especially once you start to get a client base. I mean, you see people talk about websites and social media and all this kind of stuff. And I know all that stuff is great. But you know where most of your damn business comes from, man, and blue collar work, unless you're going to bid on contracts, that's a total different thing. But most of your work comes from word of mouth. Most of it. I know for me, 80% of it comes from word of mouth. People that I've worked for before. Because I hand out cards all the time. I probably hand out 100, 200 cards per month. You know how many phone calls I get off those cards? Maybe 5, maybe 10. All right? Most of your traffic from the blue collar fields comes from word of mouth. That's where it comes from. So if you're good at it, guess what? The people that are your clients are going to tell other people about you. A big percentage of my new business that comes to me comes through other people. They call me up and be like, hey, you did something for Bob. He called me and told me that you did it. So I want you to do mine. And guess what? That guy, he goes and does the same thing. Hey, Jimmy gave me your number. He said you did some work for him. I mean, that's where a lot of my business comes from. That's where it comes from. It don't come off the internet. It don't come through Facebook. All right. It doesn't come through my flyers or my business cards that I hand out. It comes through people talking to other people. Now, don't get me wrong. I mean, it's all right to have an internet presence and, hand out flyers and cards to people. All that shit's well and good. But trust me, when you start your own business, you're going to find that somewhere between 50 and 70% of your damn business is going to come through word of mouth by other people talking about you, especially if you're good at what you do. If you're good at what you do, people are going to talk about you. They're going to talk about you. And guess what? Those people that talk about you, they're going to be talking to other people who need you. And when they talk to those other people who need you, guess what? They're going to call you too. And the cycle continues. And your money will continue. It will. I promise you, man, it will. If you're gonna take on a blue collar trade and you want that to be your business, man, trust me, this is the way to operate it. I'll go through them again, all right? Because we about to get out of here because I got another show right after this, but I will go through them again. First and foremost, know the business, all right? Even if it means working up under somebody else for a little while, learn everything about it. Learn the skills, learn the hands-on shit, learn accounting, learn billing, learn pricing, learn contracts, learn all of that. Learn how to administrate your business, do all of that. Learn all of that first. Then, once you do that and you feel like you want to leap out and do it, number one, make sure you have the money, make sure you have the equipment. Don't jump out there and start a business and have to turn business away because someone came to you to do something and you didn't have the damn equipment to do it. You don't want that because that customer is a potential 15 other customers that you just lost. Make sure you have everything you need to operate said business. All right? Now, once you get there, once you're there, guess what? Now, most of that money that you make in that business, put it back into it. Trust me. It sounds counterintuitive, but it's not. And money that you make, put a lot of it back in it. Make that business better. All right? And never stop learning what you're doing. Never stop. Never get to the point where you can't learn anything. Because if you're going to get to that point, you might as well go in your backyard and chop off your damn foot. That's the same thing. Once you done got to the point where you don't want to learn nothing else, just go outside, take your hatchet, chop off your foot. That's the same thing. Never stop learning your business. All right? Never stop learning. And never take on jobs that you, number one, aren't capable of completing, or number two, have no intention on completing. Never do that. All right? And D-Ski is right. Brother D-Ski is right. Save your money. Save your money. All right? Save your money. Don't run out and buy the Benz. All right? Don't just run out and buy the Benz. You got plenty of time for that. Because that money you spent on the Benz, that shit could have been another piece of equipment for your business. It could have been another truck for your business. Another piece of machinery for your business. That could have been a down payment on another building for you to work out of. You know, just don't waste shit. You have plenty of time for that, man. You have plenty of time for that. Because once you get the working good, trust me, that money start to build up, especially once you get to the point where you can hire people. It's just a matter of time before you can buy that Benz or that boat or that house or whatever the hell you trying to buy, man. You know, build that business. Treat it like it's your baby. All right? Feed it, clothe it, house it, provide for it, watch it grow, watch it mature. And at the end of it all, guess what? It'll be taking care of you. It'll be taking care of your family. And guess what? When your ass get old, like I'm going to do, you'll be able to pass that shit down. You'll be able to pass it down. Because that's what I'm going to do. I don't plan on doing this shit forever. Maybe another 5-6 years. Because I want to leave it to my grandson. I want my grandson to take it over. He's like 12 now. You know, another 6 years, you know, he'll be 18. I tried to get my sons, you know, to come in. They don't seem to be interested, but I mean, my youngest son, he's a master carpenter, and my oldest boy is an electrical engineer. So, you know, they're not interested in, you know, mechanical engineering at all. But my grandson is. He is. So he will inherit. You know, he will inherit this. You know, I'm grooming him now. He's very into machinery and motors and things like that. So, you know, I'm going to go ahead and, freaking leave it to him. You know,
Yep.
if he wants it, I'm gonna groom him into it, and you know, hopefully, after I'm dead and gone, he'll keep it, and you know, maybe by the time he gets it, maybe it'll be twice the size that it is now, and hopefully he can, you know, leave it to his grandkids or leave it to his kids. I mean, you know, that's kind of why I do this. I don't just do this for me. Not just about me. You know, it's about the people who I'm responsible for. It's about the people who are going to be here long after I'm gone. You know, it's not just about me, man. I don't just do this for me. I
Right.
don't really have to do it for me. I do it so goddamn it in another 100 and 200 years. All right. Guess what? Maybe, just maybe, this business will be big as hell, and it'll take care of my descendants.
That
That's why I do it. I don't just do it for me, man. I do it for the people who I'm responsible for as well, so I can leave them something. You know, I don't want them to have to do it the way I did it. Start from nothing, start from scratch. No, I want to give them that trampoline, man. They could bounce their way right into, you know, maybe I won't become a millionaire from this shit, but maybe my
but they will.
grandson will.
Right. And I think
That's
that
how I look at it.
I think that's the thing about it. X. My father and my mother said the same thing to me. And I used to always, and I'd be like, man, why you got me out here doing this? And I still, hell, even today, I'm a grown man. I still be arguing with them. And they're like, Joe, you don't get it. We getting old. My mom's in her 60s. My dad's going up in his 80s. And they're like, we getting old. Like, we can't keep on running. We can't keep on doing this. We can't keep on doing this. So if we don't pass off these skills to you or your brothers and sisters. Now my brothers and sisters, you know, I love them, but you know, some people don't see the gifts, or they don't see, you know what, dad X, what you doing out there in the yard? Well, shit, I've
hmm
been calling you out here to come fix this goddamn engine, but you daddy, I just want the money. Just give me the money, daddy. Well, shit, I'm teaching you how to make the money. If I give it to you, you ain't gonna learn it. But if I teach you,
Absolutely.
you'll always have it. You'll
Yeah.
always have it. And so now that when sometime when they can't get in touch with them, guess what they call them? They call me, and I'd be like, well, damn, like, don't y'all know how to do this damn thing? We got the same parents. Yeah,
Yeah.
but you need to do this. Well, do you know how to run this PVC piping? So y'all gotta understand, as you giving them golden game, I know they like to get the niggatry and the arguing, but you probably gave them some empowering stuff. You know what I'm saying? You always know, I'm always here to back you up on this. And I always know, see, this is when I side eye people when they be talking about empowerment and reparations, or black people or black men, we need to stand up. And I'm like, where the hell were y'all at when we having these powerful conversations? We just offered y'all the power. Y'all didn't take the power. So
Yeah,
can I
well,
can't get I can't get mad
well,
at
you know,
people for that.
you and I, brother BMT. What people probably don't know is you and I. We do these kind of shows pretty often. You know,
Right.
we do these kind of shows. We did one earlier this year when this COVID. I say again, when this COVID shit broke out, we was telling brothers that, look, man, this COVID shit is going to open up, you know, some new blue collar shit, because everybody going to be on this cleanliness shit and sterilization and all that kind of stuff. I mean, we did one early. We did, when was that? When was that? March,
Mm-hmm.
April? When I don't even remember. And we talked about the new trades that was going to be opening up and all that. I mean, because I want brothers to win. I mean, I want brothers to win. I want them to win. All right. And not only that, I want to erase, I want to do my little part to erase the stigma about being a blue collar guy. All right. I want to erase the stigma of, you know, a blue collar guy being less than and all of that. Because if you want to be a person that's up in the high fives and the six figures, guess what? You're probably going to make it there quicker in the blue collar fields. Most of us are going to make it quicker in the blue collar fields. Now, I know that sounds crazy. Like, oh, what the hell is X talking about? I'm telling you, man, I know deck builders. I know plumbers, man, that clear $100,000 every freaking year. Every year. I ran down at the top of the show. Y'all can go back, rewind the video back, and y'all can see the jobs that pay $80,000, $90,000, $70,000 a year. And these aren't even jobs where they own the business, where they're actually working for someone else. All right? Blue collar guys making $90,000 a year.
They waiting for that reparations act. They waiting for that high value. They waiting to be saved.
I mean, don't think taking on blue collar work is a path to brokenness, because it's not. It's not a path to brokenness, because guess what? Ain't nobody sneezing at 80 grand a year. All right? They're not. Ain't nobody sneezing at 90 grand a year, because the average person doesn't make that. The average person does not make that. The average person makes 50 grand a year, man. Every job I told y'all about tonight makes more than that. Makes way more than that. Every job I showed you tonight makes more than that. I think there was only a few that fell under that. They were like maybe $46,000 or something. But every damn job that I showed y'all tonight is way more than 50 grand. The average salary of most men is 50 grand, y'all. That's the average salary. All right? And there's blue collar workers out there who's making way more than that. So don't be discouraged, all right, about being a blue collar guy, all right? Because depending on what field you're in, man, you could be making bank. And not only can you be making bank, you can jump out and start your own goddamn business, and in a couple years have people working for you. You know how I know? Because I did it. And this brother right here, to my left here, he did it. So don't be discouraged, all right? Don't be discouraged about being a blue collar brother, because guess what? We make money too. But yeah, I got to get out of here because I got another show right after this, y'all. So don't go nowhere. I'm coming back. I'm going to take a break because I'm going to split them up. I'm going to take a little break, stretch my legs. We coming back in about 15 minutes, y'all. And we coming back with the Trader NBD Challenge. So make sure you stay your black behinds here. Don't go anywhere, because if you do, I will haunt your old black ass mama in her dreams. So stay your ass right there. Come back in 15 minutes. We coming back with Trader NBD. I want to thank my brother BMT. You know you're my man. I always appreciate you, man. You know, always, man, you're always with me on these things. And we'll have to do another one for the brothers in a few months, you know, because they probably didn't listen to this one either, or the other 2 or 3 that we did. So in a few months, we got to come back and do another one. All right?
All right, I'll be here, man. You already know I will be here.
Peace, my brother. I appreciate it, man.
Anytime, family. Peace.
You know it. Yeah, y'all, we're going to go ahead and wrap it up. I appreciate everybody coming through, but I want y'all to stay right there because we're coming back in about 15 minutes with Trade the NBD. We was actually supposed to throw down at 10, but it's already 10 minutes after 10, so I figure by 10:25, we right back at it, so don't go nowhere, all right? I'll see y'all in 15 damn minutes. Don't make me come to your house. All right, folks? I will see y'all in a few, but as always, I will leave you with 3 words. You know, like I always do. Open your mind.
Hours of power. Hours of power. Hours of power. Hours of power.
And so a community is where you control your police, you control your commerce, you control your education, you control your house. We don't control none of that. We live in a hood. Huh? Well, what about the Negroes that get out? Oh, well, say, my cousin, they say he's a multi-millionaire, almost got $1 billion.
The proper thought
3 PhDs, working on 2 more. Driving down the street in Chicago in his Rolls Royce, enjoying himself, and he hears these sirens and looks through the mirror and sees this cop car flashing lights. He squeezed the steering wheel, man. Heart beats fast. Because he knows the price of a Negro, what it could be. And then when that cop car passed him by, he said, thank God he wasn't after you in the first place, punk. That Negro thing you can't get away from. It's universal. They wasn't coming after you. With all your millions, with your Rolls Royce, with your PhD, didn't help. That's the hood. Why do you think you never pick up the paper or read over and over and see white families travel? You think of the thousands of black cops in America. Why don't you see white families crying as black cops shot my loved one 42 times in the back of the head? Why do you think black cops are there? You think they're more spiritual? Think they're better? No! They got enough sense to know that white folks ain't gonna tolerate it. And I will stop in our neighborhood when we decide we will not tolerate it. Now, if we was organized, which is hard to organize people who are just gonna run crazy and you don't know you're crazy. But if we were, with the money we have, and the many people who would come to our aid that don't know what it's like to be a Negro, and we said, if we said, look, we saying, if we don't get a federal law to deal with police brutality, that anytime a cop or anybody carry a gun, have to have a license, just like you do to drive a car. And if you use it wrongly, you'll lose your license. And if it's upheld, you can never work again as a cop or a store guard or a private detective. How do you get Congress to push that through? Well, you take your economic power and you call on your friends, black, white, young and old, and say, this coming Christmas, if we don't have a federal law to outlaw police brutality by law, then we call them for a nationwide boycott of Christmas and it'll start on Thanksgiving. Well, let me tell you what that means. 79% of all retail in America happens between Thanksgiving and Christmas. People stay in business all year, lose money just for Christmas, huh? Well, what happens now? South Fifth Avenue, Toys R Us, Sears and Roebuck, Westinghouse. They will get the bill, and all they got to do is make one phone call and say, Harry, that's the senator, I want that bill pushed through in 3 days. Okay, it's an economic thing. It's that simple. But we have the power, but the system has wiped us out so bad.
Hours of power. Hours of power. Hours of power.
San Antonio, Lincoln 6. Go ahead. We have a suspect down, 10-4. That's 10-4. The officer's code 4. We have one suspect that's been shot.
Open your mind.
Only from the Prophet of Thought series media.
You know.
Open your mind. 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 Open your mind.